Hi guys, it's Deborah from North of Somewhere Nomad. Welcome to my channel. Today in this video, guys, I am doing the epic challenge. Probably the biggest challenge I've had living in my van, living in my car. I'm installing my diesel heater into my 2016 Chrysler Town & Country. I'm doing this, guys. I'm doing this. So if you want to watch me install my diesel heater into my van, then let's go. Oh my God, I'm both excited and crazy nervous, but I have researched installing a diesel heater for hours and hours. I've watched every kind of diesel install you can imagine, and I believe I've got this down. So what I'm gonna do right now, guys, is show you the diesel heater I got, where it's going, and some of the other parts that are involved. All right. Okay, so here's the diesel heater I went with. It's an hcalory 2 kilowatt diesel heater. Came with this fuel line hose. Comes with the control and a remote. There's my fuel pump. Here's the 10-liter fuel tank. This is the plate. And here are the other parts. Okay, so we've got some vents. Here's another hose. And if you need the splitter thing, it's there. The exhaust, the muffler. This is another air muffler. And here's all the wiring. This was the hardest challenge, figuring out this part. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. And then here's all the screws and different connectors. So what I decided to do was use this 50 amp 12 volt battery. And because this battery is going to go somewhere in that area, I also got this 12 volt or 24 volt automatic battery charger. Oh, I also got this cement board. It's that thick. Got this from Home Depot because that's what's going to be the base. And I'll show you in just one sec. So reluctantly, I cut a hole in the carpet. And to my surprise, this has amazing insulation. That's why my van is so warm. So this goes right to the bottom underneath the car. It's just this hatch. There's no wires, there's no other components, so that's where the diesel heater is going. So I'm going to put a cement piece just to cover all this area, and then I will drill through the cement and the car and the bottom here, and that's how the diesel heater is going to sit. Okay, so I have cut my cement board to go right on the metal there. So to drill through the concrete and the metal floor is, I got this drill bit, I guess, and this is the drill bit that's going to go right through the floor. This is probably the scariest part of the whole thing. Okay guys, I've gone ahead and done a few steps, but I'll show you what I'm doing. So this is the plate that the diesel heater that is going to attach to those parts of the diesel heater. And I don't know if you can see, but right here, that little thing with the nubby, that's the fuel line. So the fuel line needs some space to come through because this will be down. So what I decided to come up with is I'm going to make my own sort of stand. That way the diesel heater is up off the ground, but it's still going to be on this cement board, and the hose has enough, everything has enough. I may put another piece of cement board on each side, but just want to get this connected for now because I'm running out of daylight. So now what I'm going to do is drill these holes. So I'm going to make a circle, and I'm going to drill through each hole, first into this cement board, and then I'm going to remove the cement board and drill through the bottom of the van. I'll just show you underneath the van. Okay. So those two holes are going to come out about here. So in relation to just the bumper, and this is just all stow and go storage. So it should come out right there, and then the air intake goes that way, and then the exhaust will come out this way, and it has to come down on an angle. But anyways, that's quite a few steps away. Okay, so I'm going to line all this up again, and then I'm going to start drilling with my, what is that? A shank hole saw arbor. And then I got this one for those size holes. And this one is a hole dozer. There it is, 1 1/4. All right. So once I start doing that, I'll catch you guys up to speed again. Okay guys, there's my 2 holes drilled. It was not as bad as I thought at all. And so I just used that. I just gotta take that piece out. Right? So this plate, sorry, it goes like this. We'll line up right there. Voila. And so I'm going to wipe this down a bit. The other thing I've decided to do in building this structure, basically out of 4 of these, and then I'm going to screw the faceplate into the structure, and then the hoses will go through. But it's going to be off the surface, even though there'll be cement board here. I just feel like it's just safer, so I'm going with that. Okay, so I'll start putting this together, and then I'll show you as I go. So I'm going to show you guys where I'm at and how I got here. So I built this structure. I went to Home Depot and I bought this, I don't even know the name of it. I did yesterday, but I don't today, which is fine. I have so many different parts and things that I'm trying to remember. So, okay, so this is one corner, and then I took another corner and made, I don't know if you guys can see, basically a solid structure. To make it even more solid, I got this bar, a stability bar, I guess, and then I screwed those 3 things together. And I'll show you in just a sec how nice and firm this is. And I did the exact same thing on this side and secured it with that stability bar. And now I'm at the stage where I am, and also of course the plate is screwed into these bars. So now I'm attaching the plate to the diesel heater, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4 bars basically that have to get screwed in. So I've done 2, and I can't find my bit. So that's what that nut looks like. Okay. So what I'm doing is just feeding that bottom threaded side down onto this. Each one of those. Excuse the state of my hands. They got kind of rough over the last couple weeks. I put it down as far as I can. And guys, this is where creativity really comes into play, because it took me quite a few hours to come up with this plan, because this needs to sit on a really stable surface. And then what I'm doing is I'm just using my needle nose pliers to tighten this. It takes a little while, as you can see. And then I'm going to flip this over and show you what it looks like. Woohoo! Look who just showed up. Jim to the rescue again. So I'm making some big progress here. This baby's coming together so fast. Jim tightened all these bolts because you have to tighten one at a time, but going crossways, and just do a little bit incrementally until it's nice and tight. Right, Jim?
Nice and tight and level.
And level.
You tighten too much on one side, it sits like a drunken old sailor in the corner.
A who?
A drunken old sailor in the corner.
Okay, so that was learning, and it's extremely important to know that, because when I was doing it, it was a bit on an angle. So we've got the green fuel line, which is not ideal, but it's what came. And then this tiny little clamps, which aren't really good at all. Looks like that. But it's holding the tube on there for now. It may be worthwhile to change that up at some point, but I just want to get this running. Oh, I think I know what you're doing. To make like a cover, right?
Yeah.
Right, so because of the nature of this structure and the amount of heat, Jim's just gonna have this run under there. You just gotta get creative, eh, Jim?
Yeah.
It's going on YouTube, you know.
I don't care.
I have to edit that out, you know.
Why?
Well, because I don't want to get banned from YouTube.
They'll ban you for that?
Yes. Oh. So you're wrapping that tubing over the green.
Inside, yep.
Oh, that's perfect.
Good night.
Wow. Guys, it's in there. It's like such a rush. We have to get this piece.
I know.
I'm telling the people.
Oh, you're talking to the kid. Jeez.
So this has to go, and oh, I drilled the wrong fucking hole. I did it up here. It's supposed to be down there. Well, I'll just do what he did, set it like that.
Yeah.
Because this hole, how did I fuck that up?
I did that too.
You did it? Well, I have to use this somehow now. But you think?
Yeah, that'll work.
Yeah. Well, it's gonna have to work.
Yeah.
So we got to get this in the tank.
Yeah.
And feed it through that hole.
Yeah.
So Jim's gonna see if he's got some wire. Hey, Jim?
Yep. I guess I have to.
You don't have to, but you want to. You want to, right? Okay.
Got the O-ring on there.
Yeah. What is it that you're getting? Pliers?
Pliers.
Yeah. Because you got to tighten that. Just snug, eh?
Yeah.
And there she be. And now you pull the wire out. Voila! All right, moving right along. So So the fuel line goes in here, right?
Yeah.
So there's the exhaust, and I screwed that in there, and then that's the fresh air. I'm not going to put the mufflers on right now because I'm freaking exhausted and I gotta go pick somebody up. But guys, look, it's not that bad. It's pretty intimidating, but literally if I can do this, you guys. So everything's in there good. Actually, I think I will throw that because that's air going in. So I'll throw that on. And still have some more steps to go on the inside, but super freaking happy. Okay, so I went ahead and did a few more steps, so I thought I would just catch you guys up. So in my last clip, I had made this stand for the diesel heater, and then I also put, that's a screw that's gone through the frame, the cement board, and down through the bottom of the trunk. This is actually the back stow and go area. I don't think I mentioned that before, but anyways, it is. So where I'm at is I have, this is the fuel pump, which is attached to the diesel heater underneath, and so I've clamped everything on. The other thing is this green cord, this green hose comes with the diesel heater in the package, but it's advised to upgrade it, and I tried. I went everywhere and I couldn't, so I'm working with this. The promising thing is it took quite a bit of force to cut this with my X-Acto knife, so you know, I'm hopeful that it's not going to just disintegrate on me. Okay, so fuel hose from the diesel heater into the fuel pump, and then all clamped on. From the fuel pump, it goes, the hose runs into the fuel filter, and it goes in and out, and then that hose runs to the fuel tank. And I'll just show you in a sec. Some of the issues I'm having are, you know, I'm using an extra long piece of hose because after I did all the attachments and it ran through to the diesel heater, or sorry, the diesel tank, it's already been all connected. So my plan is to fasten the hose or protect it somehow. Okay, so that's how it's all set up in my 2016 Chrysler Town and Country. So if you have this stow and go area and you haven't built it up and you're wondering if you can put a diesel heater in, I'm here to tell you that you can. Well, let's wait till we fire this baby up. So how I'm going to power this with all these attachments, which are basically, you're left with the like the positive receptacle or whatever it's called, and then the negative is somewhere around here. Oh, it's right there. So all my research said just go with a 12 volt 50 amp hour battery, and I did lots of research on this one. It's pretty good and it wasn't too bad. I got one of those Black Friday deals. And the beautiful thing is about this is that I bought this, I think I showed this to you in my last couple clips. So this is the automatic battery charger, and just behind where that, just as that hose takes a corner, I have an inverter, 110 AC inverter, which only works when the car is running, but that's okay because I don't think this is going to need constant juice. So that's my next step, guys. I'm going to install the battery, or not install it, but position it in there. connect all these wires, and oh, and I also have to attach my fuel pump to, I'm gonna just bolt it to this wood that I have here, it's part of my bed structure. And this, coming from the fuel line, the fuel tank, you have, and then going, the part that goes into the diesel heater has to be up on a 45-degree angle. Okay, so I'm thinking I'm gonna put this about right there. Okay, so those are the things I'm doing right now. So I'll show you guys when all those connections are done. Okay, guys, the moment of truth. Everything's connected. I had a heck of a time with that fuel pump, attaching it up like that. So it's a bit of a botch job, because the reason why I have this Gorilla Tape is because the green fuel line was kind of being pinched down. So that's just to hold it up a bit so it doesn't pinch down. And so I've connected all the connections. So that's the fuel pump to the control monitor, and then we've got the actual diesel heater connected. That's actually connected to the positive and the negative. And I've already attached the negative to this battery. And all that's left, well, there's two steps. So I'm going to attach the positive, and it's got this little fuse box. Okay, so we're going to turn that on. And once I connect it, the monitor should turn on. I just have it there for now because I want to tuck all those wires away. But this will get mounted somewhere close to where, probably above my bed or somewhere near, maybe mounted up here or something. Okay, so let's do this. Okay, so unscrew that. Okay, so putting that on there, and then threads properly. Oh, look it. Oh my God, you guys, it's freaking working. Okay, tight. Well, what is it saying? It's just showing that it's on. So now, guess what? We're going to go get some diesel. And then there's another step that you take to prime it, and it has something to do with pushing both arrows, but let's just go get some flippin' diesel. And oh my goodness, guys. So when I was at the pump, I started pumping the diesel, and then I stopped and I checked, and I felt diesel had come like just a small little bit, but I started freaking out, of course. And then I've been wiping with my shop towels. Was shiny, not a lot, but the first time I felt it, I panicked a bit because but it's not coming out of the connection there. So I'm gonna fire it up. I feel safe, so let's go do that. Okay, so the first thing we should hear is a pump, like a tick, tick, tick. So you hold this power button for 3 seconds. And it's doing something. I don't really understand that at this moment, but let's see. I think it's pumping fuel. So I'm just going to keep an eye on I definitely hear a little fan. But I don't see any fuel coming up at this moment. But I do hear a fan. So I'm just going to investigate these fuel lines a little bit more. Okay, so the ticking has started, and I'll show you what's going on over here. So every time there's a click, it's pushing fuel, and it's starting to go a little bit faster. But it's, it's got to make its way all through there. Somebody said to prime it by holding the buttons, the two arrows at the same time. So I'm going to try that. Okay, it just stopped clicking, but there's air coming out, but it's just cold air. And it's my understanding that it's going to probably go through 3 or 4 processes before the fuel hits the fuel pump into the diesel heater, because the line is so long. Oh, it's clicking now for sure. And I don't know if you can see down there, but it's pushing fuel slowly but surely. I still don't see any fuel coming through the fuel pump, but it's definitely moving, and this is definitely blowing air. This is not the heat fan. This is not where this heat flow is going to stay, I don't think, because I wish I could just point it up a little bit, but I've been, screwing around with it to the point where I don't want to break it. So when I'm not as exhausted as I am and I have more patience, I'm going to try to fix it up. I'm just absolutely, utterly exhausted. So the fuel is, and then it just shut down for a sec. So it's definitely true. The more fuel line you have, the more times it'll shut down and then start up again. Right, so we just go with the flow. Still cold air. Okay, so there's quite a few things going on at this moment. I was getting a yellow triangle with an exclamation mark in it, so when I looked that up, it means the battery intake power is low. So then I went to my battery charger, and that is juicing up the battery, but you can see right now it starts way down at 20% and then it's building up. So for now, and I had to connect the AC to my Jackery, and then another connector here which goes to the battery, and so that's charging the battery, providing juice for the diesel heater. And it's still blowing, but it's not quite warm air yet because I think it's still priming. But we'll soon find out. And once it's up and running, guys, you'll be the first to know. Okay, guys, it's the moment of truth. After a long, hard journey installing my diesel heater, I have finally completed the epic challenge. So I'm going to show you. I actually started this last night, but it was too dark and I was just so tired. So I'm going to start this baby up and show you that this thing is freaking awesome. This is the best investment I made in my whole car life, van life journey. It's absolutely amazing. Okay, so let's turn this baby on. I'll just show you. So for now, I have covered everything up with this extra piece of cement board, just because if anything falls, or you know what I mean, I just want to keep this set up. Yeah, I just want to keep this set up clear of anything falling. So it's a bit of a jumbled mess right now. I know what's going on, but eventually I'm going to hook everything up so it's not just laying like that. So here's the control monitor. This is just the time, so you can set it to something else, whatever your time. I don't really care. So now what I do is, and I've learned something last night as well, I'll show you in just a sec. So you hold this button down for 3 seconds. There, see how it says 15 degrees? Because it was set at something like 17, and I'll show you my carbon monoxide monitor, which also gives me the internal temperature of the van. So anyway, you can see that the fan has started and things are kicking up. And in a few seconds, we'll hear the fuel pumps start kicking in. That's that click, click, click. And then last night it was so cool because when the glow plug ignited or started working, the whatever process goes on internally in the diesel heater was like, you knew that something was working. I was like so amazed, guys. So I'll just show you here right now that if you push the settings button and the up arrow button at the same time, you can switch from the generic like H1, H2, H3, which is basically low, medium, and high. You can change it to temperature regulation by pushing those 2 buttons, and then once you find the setting you want, you hit OK, and that's where it stays. Oh, so here's so that clicking is the fuel pump kicking in, which is right there. And I'll tell you, it took me about 8 or 9 times to start this and turn it off and start it and turn it off to work the fuel all the way through my fuel line and into the diesel heater. So the fan is started, but it's cold right now. And yeah, so if you guys got one and you have a lot of fuel line like me, it will start, the glow plug will ignite, but it has to work out all the air bubbles and stuff like that. Like, I don't know if you can see it kicking in over there. Yeah, so that's the process. I don't think most people have all that fuel line that I do, but you have to start it and it'll cut out, and then you restart it as many times as you need to work all that fuel through. So you can hear it clicking. Okay, so this air is starting to get hot now. You can hear the diesel heater running, so the glow plug has received the fuel and it's getting warmer. Alright guys, so there you have it. I installed my own diesel heater by myself. Tons of research, tons of pre-planning, and I'm a solo female. Figured it out myself, did all the work myself, had a little bit of help from Jim, my good friend Jim. Anyways guys, I hope you liked this video. If you got anything out of it, hit that thumbs up, and if you want to see more content from me, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys in my next video. Take care.